Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome back to Namaste Today, More Mindful Living. Today I want to share with you some yoga. It may just be the beginning of yoga for you. What I would like to share with you is just some items that help make your yoga practice more comfortable, whether you're practicing in your own home or whether you're going to your studio, your fitness facility, wherever yoga is offered. And these are some things that I've just collected over the years. I found that they have really enhanced my practice, and these things make me more physically comfortable and just help to aid my yoga practice. And so the beginning would of course be your own mat. Now, mats are offered when you go to some facilities, some studios. Sometimes they offer them for free, sometimes you rent them for a very small price. But I recommend get your own mat. It just has a feeling. It becomes almost your friend, so you feel very comfortable on it. Choose a color that you enjoy. I would suggest getting at least a 1/4 inch thick, even more. This one has some binding on the edge. It was a color that I liked. I do love pastel colors, but I will tell you, they don't stay clean, so you may want to avoid that. Now, the mat is called a sticky mat, and it's called a sticky mat for a reason. It's because we want our feet and our hands to stick on the mat, so it has a different texture. And this texture allows just your feet or your hands as they're against the mat to really grip the mat so you avoid slipping. So find a mat that you love, and you can take it to practice with you. And I have more than one mat. I am at home in my yoga space, and in my yoga space I am very fortunate to be able to leave my mat down all the time. This is an extra thick mat. It is a rubber mat, and it has just a bit of a different texture from the mat I just showed you, but it still nonetheless grips my feet and grip my hands, and we need that in our yoga practice. I cannot take this yoga mat with me. Well, I could take it with me, but I wouldn't take it with me because since it's a 100% rubber mat, it is so incredibly heavy. I just leave it here rolled out on my floor in my yoga space at home. And so it's always available to me. All I have to do is make the time for it. So I'm just going to go in order of what to me has meant the most and really enhances my practice. So after my yoga mat, the next thing that is the most important to me is my blanket. Now, this is a blanket, my favorite color, that came from Target. It is an extra long twin size blanket. It's just, you can just see the texture here. It's just that soft, fuzzy microfiber. They sell these for dorm rooms. You know, the dorm beds are twin extra long. And the thing I like about this is during Shavasana, when I cover up, I'm completely covered. I can tuck my toes in, and I can cover up across my chest, and my arms are resting beneath it, and so I'm warm. So if you've been practicing yoga, you may remember or realize that after the practice is completed and when you're going into Shavasana, almost like this, your body starts to cool off just as soon as you stop moving. So it's important to feel more comfortable and to get the most out of your relaxation time to be covered up. So not only is it good for relaxation, which is the main purpose I have it, but you can use it folding it in different ways. For instance, if you are on your knees in, say, cat and cow, and your knees become uncomfortable, just give yourself a bit of cushioning beneath your knees. You can roll it up, and what I use it for at home, I will roll it up until there's a bit of an edge on it. So, of course, when you're seated on it, your weight is on it, and it's just a few inches. This allows you to elevate the back of the sitting bones. And we will get to all this when we come to our yoga lesson. And yes, that is coming soon. I hope you'll join me for that. So after my yoga blanket, The next thing that is the most important to me is my eye pillow. This I will actually use at the beginning of yoga and at the end. And this just goes over your face, covers your eyes. Again, it's a color I like. This is a natural raw silk. It's a beautiful paisley fabric. The colors I appreciate. And I like the width of it and the length of it. It is filled with flaxseed and it has a cover on it. So you can take the cover off, throw the cover in the washer, and I do just place it within a lingerie bag to protect the silk and just wash it in cold water, and I either put it in the dryer or just pull it out and let it air dry. Within the outer beautiful silk lining is this muslin bag, and it's filled with flaxseed. So as you might remember from other videos, fragrance is very important to me, and essential oils are as well. So this is what I will do. This is a stainless steel bottle with purified water, and this is the Acacia peppermint. And I just take a few drops of the peppermint essential oil, drop them inside the purified water, and give it a shake. And then I spray the inner lining of my eye pillow. That's just yummy. Now the reason I spray the inside of the eye pillow and very lightly is because the essential oils are very strong and you want to keep it away from your skin. So this way I have a layer of silk between my eyes and the fragrance that I've chosen for my eye pillow. And I will switch out the fragrances, but peppermint is my all-time favorite. So when I use this at the beginning and when I use it at the end, I remember to take very deep breaths and breathe in the scent that you've chosen. It enhances your practice so much. So, along with the eye pillow, the essential oil. I will, for my classes, I mix these up and have a variety of the yoga mist so that they can just see what mood they're in and spray their eye pillows. It just enhances my practice, so I want to share it with my students too. And so today I want to share it with you. Next, these are just a couple of items that help you physically with your practice. This is a block, and the reason that we would use the block is just to help with range of motion. An example of when you would use the block, and when I would suggest to my students to use a block in a pose, for instance, reverse triangle. If we were doing reverse triangle and my students could not quite twist and reach the floor on the other side, you can use the block either vertically or horizontally. So your range of reach doesn't have to be quite as much, so you will still get the benefit of the pose. You can use this to elevate your hips. It helps to, if you're in a seated position and you're sitting on top of this, it helps just to open up the legs. And we will get into more of that once we get to our lesson. The other thing is a strap. This, again, it can just help you reach a deeper depth of a pose. And I just suggest to all of my students when they come in the door, these are things that you usually would not take to class, and your yoga studio or fitness facility would usually have these available for you. So I just suggest that they always just go over to the basket, reach in, and bring these back to their yoga mat. Because no matter what pose we're doing, it may be not a pose that's reachable for you that day, or it can make you more comfortable in your poses, and you never know. So if you have these handy, then you can just reach in and slide it to where you can place it beneath your body and go into the pose more comfortably. So I suggest, if you're practicing at home, always make sure you have these near your equipment. It is helpful when you're at home to practice with some soothing music. So I would suggest either getting some CDs or just finding them on your phone. You can go through iTunes or your iPod, whatever your MP3 player is. I personally use Pandora, and I like that because the music comes in. I don't know what's coming next, but it's a station that I like. I know that whatever music is coming, it will be soothing and just flow from one to the other, and I don't have to think about it. There is one thing about, I have noticed in yoga, all teachers don't do this, but for me, I have noticed that when you use music that have words in them, then your mind attaches to the words. And if you use music that people are familiar with, if you use music that you are familiar with, for instance, when it comes time for Christmas, often I will just bring instrumental Christmas music. But what happens is my students, their minds will attach, and they'll be playing the song, singing the lyrics in their mind, and that pulls their mind away from what they're doing and onto the music. So I do suggest use music that has no words. That way your mind can stay in the present moment, feel what you're doing, and really be aware of your breathing. The other thing that is really important to my yoga practice is this. I did show you this in the video of the room tour, but in case you haven't yet seen the room tour, this is a must for me in my yoga practice. This is a Bath & Body Works candle, Twisted Peppermint. It is my favorite candle. They are out only at Christmas time, so as soon as they come out and go on sale, I stock up. Fragrance is just so important. But for me, peppermint is just, this is my scent. This is what brings me pleasure as I just inhale this scent of the peppermint, the twisted peppermint. Of course, I did tell you I also really enjoy the peppermint and the essential oil as well. But this twisted peppermint candle, just for me, emotionally, it represents just peace and quiet on the inside, and a sense of solitude, and a sense of renewal, relaxation, and it brings me a sense of restoration. And it's just a sacred scent for me. Not only do I use it here in my yoga practice, but as I am just taking my time where I'm journaling and where I'm reading my Bible, I always have the peppermint scent burning. That's delicious. The other thing about candles burning, the light in the room, to keep the room dark is important, and just the flickering of the natural candlelight, it really enhances your practice when you're at home. If you are a regular practitioner of yoga, I hope that maybe some of the items I showed you today will really help you to enhance your practice. Maybe something you hadn't quite considered before. Maybe there's something that you could even give me some advice on. I would love to hear your comments. If there are items in your own yoga practice that really have been special to you, enhanced your practice, and mean something, give you meaning to your practice, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. I'm sure the other subscribers would love that thought as well. I hope that if you are not a practitioner of yoga, that you will be soon. And if you're just getting started with yoga, gather these things around you and just begin your yoga practice at home or at a studio with an experienced teacher. I hope that you will include yoga into your life and that it becomes, if not an everyday practice, then at least a weekly practice. Just not only for your physical health and well-being, but for your mental and spiritual health as well.